Hello, this is Judy Mario, and this is the World of Book Reviews. And tonight we're exploring some children's books that are very good for Christmas presents, for stocking stuffers. And this next book is really cute. It's called The Heart of Max, and it is about an Australian terrier. But the interesting thing about this book and the way it's written is the author, her name is Ina Louise Jones. Ina actually wrote this book as though the dog is telling the story. And it's really cute because Max tells what's happening in his life and how he feels about it. And he expresses things that, even adults would enjoy reading this book because he goes through life from being deserted and being found and getting a new family. And he also talks about life and death. He talks about the happy times in life when people are having celebrations, and he talks about when his puppy died, meaning his owner, the male owner, Ina's husband, when he died, how Max felt about that. And so many times I don't think we think about the animal and the feelings the animal might have. And so this book is it's really quite deep, actually. It gets into all of these spunky sort of things that Max does and what he's up to. And then it gets into your really inner feelings, how you feel about life and death and what's happening there. And he's got a very touching way of telling the story. This story is actually written, and it's a smaller type, and you can see that the pictures are few and far between, and they're smaller. But it's worth it. It's such a good read. This was a book that I enjoyed reading myself. I felt like I really did feel exactly like Max was talking to me, telling me how to live life, how to experience the good and the bad that's happening to me. And I believe that you will really enjoy this book, and you'll really enjoy sharing it with your children. And one of the other things about this book, when you share it with your children, is you're sharing things that really happen in life. And so many times we don't talk to our children about the things that go on in our household or in our lifestyle. And so by reading this book, it's going to open up avenues of new communication. And I just know you're going to love it. I did. It's absolutely fabulous. Ina Louise Jones, look for her books. She's a great writer. And thank you for joining us tonight.
I'm Jamie Lee Metz, CEO and founder of Skin Fitness here in Las Vegas. We've been serving Las Vegas for over 17 years. We're proud to announce we just won 2017 Spa of the Year by Image International. That's the skincare company of the Miss Universe pageant. We offer exclusive treatments like our Time Eraser facial, which uses multiple modalities and literally erases time. Our Pore Purge, which is the ultimate in hygiene, and our Fire and Ice facial, which literally removes and soothes the skin at the same time. Come see us at our new location here in Village Square. We look forward to seeing you soon.
Good evening. This is Judy Mario, and this is the World of Book Reviews. And tonight I'm talking about a novel that I just read that was absolutely fabulous. It's a Danielle Steel novel, and it's her writing. It really is. It feels like her writing. At the same time, I think I felt that it was so much deeper than all of her other writings. I I really had a lot of emotion when reading this book. It's called The Award by Danielle Steele. And what it is, it's about a young lady who is making an effort to get an award for her grandmother. And it seems that the grandmother lived in France back in World War II. When World War II was going on, her grandmother was just a young girl. And it tells the life story of this young girl and what happened to her and how she was able to help smuggle a lot of babies out of France when the Germans were taking over. And it's really touching. It talks about her putting the babies in the basket of her bicycle and pedaling for long, long distances to get these kids to some safe place where their lives could be saved. And at some point, the Germans actually take over the home where she lives with her mom and dad, and they take it over, and then her mother dies and her father's killed, and she's there all alone. She's a young girl, and the German officer who lives in her house, they've relegated the family to one room of the house, and the Germans have taken over the rest of this big house because her family had a lot of money. They have her living in this one room of the house, and one night the German, the very high-ranking officer, invited her to his room, and she was quite nervous about it, but she knew she had to go. She couldn't very well say no. And when he got her into the room, he asked her to help him do something. He wanted her to help him save the art pieces, the really famous art pieces of the great artists of France for the country, because he thought that the country deserved to save their art. And so the story goes on to tell how she helps this German officer actually rescue and save some of these great pieces of art in France, and where they stored them and what they did. And then, of course, when it was all over and the war was over, she was shunned by everybody in her city because they all thought she had an affair with this man, with this officer, and she wouldn't tell them about smuggling the art and hiding the art because, she really didn't want people to know that that's what she did. But in the end, she returned all the art pieces to the museums where they belonged, and they didn't ever give her credit for it. And so her granddaughter, all these years later, decided that her grandmother should be recognized and should get an award for having done all of these things that she did during World War II. It was really one of those books that kept you sitting right on the edge of your seat, and you were wondering what was going to happen next. I couldn't put it down. I read it from start to finish. I love Danielle Steele anyway, but this particular book I think was one of the best that she's ever written, and I believe you'll really enjoy it if you like intrigue, you like mysteries, and you like to see somebody win. We all like a hero or a heroine. We like to see that in the end, the person does get recognized for all of the things that she did. And it's really a good book. And even though I've told you a lot about the story, I haven't told you near enough. And so don't think, oh, Judy told me all about the story, so I'm not going to read the book, because the book is really fabulous. It's descriptive, it's charming, it makes you laugh, it makes you cry, and it makes you sit on the edge of your seat. So get this book for somebody that really likes to read and put it in their stocking this Christmas. It's a wonderful book. Thank you for being with us tonight, and we'll see you soon.
I didn't focus on my weaknesses. I focused on my strength, and I was able not only to lead myself, I was able to lead my team into success.
Many people ask me, what do you mean by awakening the powerful leader within you? I have been leading myself and others for years. Well, I tell them, of course you have, but did you know that you have way more power than you can ever imagine? See, you and I, we were born with the capability to lead ourselves to live our purpose. then life's challenges and obstacles come along and buries our capabilities. How do I know that? I know it because life happened to me.
My question to you today is this. What are you creating?
Now, I don't know what he was thinking. Maybe he was thinking I'm gonna download something.